What is going on, everybody? Anthony here, Six Scale Mafia. We are back. It is Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Special stream. We've got Barry back again from Factory Entertainment. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Always good to be back with the Mafia, which nobody ever says.
I know, right?
Should have done that in a Jersey accent, I feel.
No, that's perfect. I know, we were just talking about it too. It's like, wow, it's been like 6-7 months. It's like time just flew right by since we last spoke. So yeah, I thought, well, you know, you guys are dropping some stuff, making some announcements.
Busy for the last few months.
Yeah, been pretty busy. So it's like, now would be a good time to, you know, say what's up. Yeah. Say what's up. So, no, I appreciate you guys all tuning in, those coming in live and those watching on the replay. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, where should we start? You've been busy, right? So
yeah, been busy. I mean, lots going on, which is good because, you know, lots is good. And finally we get to do some 1/6, or at least we showed it at Comic-Con last year, and I think it surprised a lot of people because it kind of came out of left field. It's always weird when you get to show off your babies because you've been working on them for, like, in some cases months, and then suddenly the public sees them and goes, where did these come from? And it's like, well, they came from a long and complicated path. So we showed them off, and we're launching, what are we, Thursday today? So tomorrow we launch the first one for pre-order, which is Rick from The Mummy. And then we've spaced the other figures out. Then it'll be Jaws, and then it'll be Battlestar Galactica through the rest of March on different dates. So keep an eye on the site. People will see them. We'll pre-promote them. We did some teaser images for some of them, and then when they go live, there will be a lot more imagery. And all the product is in production, so none of this is vaporware. None of it is fantasy. It's all being worked on furiously right now.
That's awesome. No, that's good. So we're gonna I guess we could talk about Rick first then. Yeah, because that's tomorrow, right? So you guys put out
tomorrow, Friday, and we will have, for the eagle-eyed, there will be some early bird special discounts exclusive to our website, and they're going to be quick. They're going to come and go, so people will if they sign up early, but he'll be available widely, Sideshow, everybody else, after tomorrow. So we're going live first with our own site direct, and then everybody else will follow in the coming days. But there he is, and he's a personal favorite because we got to be, I think, the first people to ever do an officially licensed Rick O'Connell figure of any kind.
I think so.
It's a weird license. We assumed that it couldn't be licensed because it had never really been offered out, and then we spoke to Universal, and they said, no, you can do that. And we were like, huh, okay. It was just one of those weird ones. Right. So it was strange. And then we were lucky because we did this before all the brouhaha about the Mummy. I don't know whether they're calling it the Mummy 4, but the reboot or the new movie that the original cast are all going to work on, which will come out, I think, 27, 28. So it looked like we were psychic, and we kind of planned that, but we didn't. Just lucky.
It's just like, you're like, wait, why has no one done this before? Can they not do it? I guess. So then you're wait.
Well, let's be really honest. Everybody loved the first movie. Second movie was okay, and the third movie is where we kind of started to lose everybody. I think personally, it was where it kind of went dramatically downhill for me.
I mean, most do. I mean, I felt that way with like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Yeah, I mean, you know,
but he's such an awesome figure, and he's got it. This is a real hard one because when you start looking into it, the costume at the beginning, I was like, that's easy. It's just simple pants. And no, it's a real tricky one. It's got some real nuances to it. And yeah, really, it was fun. It's fun, but I think we pulled it off. As a great team on this one. The head sculpt is Dean Tolliver, who I think some people know. He did an awesome job capturing the likeness.
Familiar with Dean? Yeah,
he did a great job on that one. And then Caitlin Ashford sculpted all the accessories, and the accessories are really cool on this one. He's got the two pistols, he's got the shotgun. I timed that perfectly right there. Right. And it will pump, and yeah, it's a cool piece, and it is the correct trench shotgun as well. The version that he has, not the standard version.
Okay.
It's got the big mummy sword, and the Book of the Dead and the scarab, and that's the coolest accessory, I think. Although the twin the twin wielding's pretty neat too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
And then the costume was that's Blue Aquino, who a lot of people know, and that one, man, with the Sam Brown belt and it's a really unnecessarily complicated rig. It's like, why would anybody wear this in real life? But that's what it looks like. Yeah, so you've got the accessories there. So he's really tooled up. He's got 4 firearms.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, yeah, 2 revolvers, a semi, the pump. And then, so now this is going to be this. So
you'll have a stand, and then we'll have a printed backdrop, which goes behind the figure for people who want to display it. And then the stand itself, it's a crotch grabber. We looked at all kinds of different stands, and we arrived on these because we need some commonality. And everybody's asked, where are the scarabs? I don't know if you can see them in this picture, but the scarabs are on the base. They're hidden away on the base.
Yeah, they're a little hard to.
Yeah, they're going to be on there. There's 3, John, Paul, George, and Ringo on the base, as we've affectionately called them.
That's awesome.
The Beatles, get it?
Right, exactly. So just to bring back really quick though. So tomorrow,
7 a.m. Pacific, it will go live on our website for pre-order. There'll be a small deposit. I think it's $30 or $35, somewhere around that. And then the product will ship 4th quarter, November.
Oh, okay. So fairly soon. Because I remember last time we talked, it was that, hey, when we get things up online, we don't want to, ideally, right? That was kind of one of the goals, right? Is to not have such a far window out.
No, we don't want it, because there's so many things going on in the world, and we won't get political, but tariffs and things change on it seems like a daily basis. So we've lost, as an industry, the ability to kind of forecast or do anything forward in the future, because you just don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next.
No, you don't. You really don't. You really don't.
So we're trying to compress that period down as best we can. The original intent with all of the products we've been working on recently, not just 1/6, because we do a bunch of other stuff. You can see behind me prop replicas, and the original idea was to have the product physically in the warehouse before we launch it, but that's just not feasible for everything. And to be brutally honest, with the 1/6, we don't know which figures are going to be in the highest demand. So the edition sizes for these are not set yet. They will be set based on the consumer response. I think I know which ones are going to be popular, but I've years ago given up trying to guess.
Right, yeah.
You can't. The one you think is going to be hot is the one that ends up being, mid, and the one that you think nobody's going to want is the one that sells out.
Well, that's what's so hard too, right? Because there's stuff where like I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I want this. This is going to be great. Everybody's going to want this, and people are like, I don't want this. I wanted that. Like just how our brains work. Like what we think. We all have different stuff that we like, and there's going to be
people don't know. We've been around for 15 years, so in the collectibles industry, that's a pretty small club. Like if we were to hold our annual meeting with the other 15-year-old collectibles companies, it'd be like 3 of us.
Right.
But the 1/6 guys, they don't know who the hell we are. They've never heard of us. They're like, who are these upstart people coming in with these figures? Do they know what they're doing? So we have to prove it to people. We've got to deliver, and we've got to deliver really effing cool product, and people will go, I like it, or I hate it. We just don't know how they're going to react. We hope we know. We hope they love it. We want to make cool things that we think other fans would love. That's the ethos behind Factory Entertainment. We're just fans who are making stuff we think. But great comment there. Yes,
from Yomo.
Yes, if the line is successful, we'll do everybody. But we'll do Emotep last, because I'm really, really nervous about pulling him off, because he's a really difficult figure to do. Well, because his costume is basically nothing. He's essentially naked, and I want the Emotep with the mouth open with that. And if you remember, there's nothing holding the jaw on. Like, I don't actually physically know how to make that in reality, because it wasn't real. It's CGI.
Right. How do we?
Tell me if I'm wrong. If people just want, standard Emotep as a human, Arnold Vosloo, maybe that's the way to go. But you got to have him with his kind of, right? I mean, we'll work out how to do it.
We'll work on it. Yeah. But that'd be cool. I mean, so that Rick won't be like, well, is it confirmed yet, or a wait and see approach that
if Rick sells, we'll do more. Basically, if nobody wants Rick, then why would we invest the tens of thousands of dollars to make any more.
Right.
But I got a warm, I'm going to look like an idiot tomorrow if this doesn't work, but I got a warm feeling about Rick. I think there's a lot of other Rick fans or Mummy fans out there. And I think he'll do well. And then, who next? I don't know. Who should come next? They're all kind of cool.
Now, is it too early? Because I know we talked before on, what's going to be coming, and now we're here. So I don't know if it's anything that we can talk about now.
Some of it I can talk about. I can give you one. I think it's not really a surprise, but we've been partnering with a few people, and people I think are aware of our Jazz Inc. work. Great guys do, we've always done big things. People know our big starships we do for Star Trek. And we were toying around with the idea of doing kit. And he's not the only kit we're going to be doing, because people have seen other things from us, not just 1/6, but 3 3/4 inch and other scales. And through serendipity, we managed to hook up with the fantastic guys at Jazz Inc. And they're doing, we're working under our license. We're producing kit with them. And there will be a Michael Knight to go with kit. I can't show him yet because he's with talent, and there's no way I'm going to upset the Hoff.
Right?
Because I think the dude can still bench press about 200-300 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Still a big dude. I'm not going to upset him. That's one I can tell you about. But what I will say is people should make a beeline for our booth at Comic-Con this year in July, because we will have lots of things to show, and they will be on display, and there'll be physical, real things. Like I said, no vaporware. And they can see them and many others, some extensions to existing lines and some new ones. But Michael Knight's going to be really awesome. Wait till you see him. He's really cool.
Yeah, that's something a lot of us have been wanting, for sure. So, and that's so cool that, working with Yost and everybody there to have the car and then to have the figure, it's going to be pretty awesome.
You can't have kit without Michael. You kind of need him.
Yeah, it's bread and butter. But CT603, my bro, man, what is up, man? He was wondering, so he locked in the Colonial Viper directly with you guys.
So if you buy the Viper from us, it does not come with a figure. If you buy it anywhere else, it comes with a figure. Boomer. Figure is the same. We just heard a lot of people asking to buy the Viper by itself, so we're offering it by itself, but for everybody else it will come with Boomer. You can also buy Boomer directly from us. It's the only place you can get just Boomer. Our website directly, factoryend.com. So for any confusion there, and for future 3 3/4 inch releases, we're not going to do that. We're going to do something much easier, because it did confuse the hell out of people. But we were trying to replicate the kind of Hasbro Kenner vintage comes with a figure type arrangement, and we will do that slightly differently. But yeah, to answer the question, if it's clear, if you buy it directly from us, just the Viper, and the price is lower to reflect that. If you buy it from anywhere else, Big Bad Toy Store, Sideshow, etc., it will come with Boomer.
Okay. Well, I thank you for clearing that, because I wasn't sure either. So I guess, okay.
Seems simple, and then when you actually execute, you're like, yeah, that's actually more complicated than it looked.
No, I get you totally. I got a couple questions, a couple super chats, and we'll go through. But where was the Collection Obsession? My man was wondering, any chance have you thought about this at all, doing like seamless forearms for the figures?
We put a lot of thought into seamless. He doesn't have seamless arms. I'll tell you that now. What you see is what you get here. This isn't in any way. It is the prototype figure. The figures we just confirmed the tooling. We're going for the copper line tooling for these, which I won't bore you with that. But if anybody knows anything about 1/6 manufacture, the copper lining is the better tooling. It gives you the detail. We spent a lot of time looking at bodies for him, and seamless is still, there's a risk with it. It's getting better, but it still isn't perfect. And there were two challenges with him for seamless. One, his sleeves in these images are kind of high rolled up. If in the movie they kind of move, he has them in some instances rolled all the way up over his bicep. Sometimes they're down to the forearm. They can be somewhat concealed, but I'm just worried about the quality going long term. And then his little pesky wrist gauntlet as well. if you have interchangeable arms, you've got to have interchangeable gauntlets, and that thing is not easy to get on and off because it's skin tight. So because we're worried about the posability for him, all of his poses are kind of bicep up, twin guns, tight. We're just not happy and comfortable that a seamless arm will stand up to that over time. So we made the choice to skip it.
Okay.
Apologies if people don't agree with that, but it was not a decision made just, off the cuff, pardon the pun. It was, we arrived at it because we don't want QC issues, and it's getting better for sure, but I don't want to rubbish anybody else's product. Let me be really clear on this, but I've seen just recently on some of the Ahsoka figure, looks beautiful. I've seen some horror stories with mine didn't snap, but I know a friend whose arm came straight off.
It can happen. It can.
Happen.
It doesn't
and I don't know about you. It's very personal. It's kind of like art. I can't be faffed with the rubbing in the silicone oil and the talcum powder and anybody who ever had a wetsuit, how many times did you actually do that with the wetsuit? Once. Maybe twice.
No, I totally get that, and that's good to know. Like right now, it's like, hey, you know what? It just wasn't really feeling it yet, quality wise, and we don't want to make sure, this works like this.
And if you're a manufacturer out there who makes seamless bodies, hit me up. If you can make me a beautiful seamless body that works and can be articulated and posed and abused and beaten up and not break and doesn't need to be rubbed down with lube every 2 weeks, then hit me up and we'll use your bodies.
Now, do you think so? Like, just curious, but do you think that that's not entirely off the table on certain figures in the future?
Well, a good one would be Imhotep. He is essentially wearing a loincloth. He's virtually stark naked in most of the he has that sort of diaphanous robe thing, but it's transparent. It's like more semi-transparent. So yeah, if we want to do Imhotep, I don't think he can be done in any other way other than seamless. What do people think? What do they agree or disagree? Again, it's a personal choice thing. We wanted this to be super posable and super durable and super reliable. Like I said, we've been around for 15 years. I don't want a figure that's going to look great for 8 months, 9 months, 10 months in your cabinet and then start developing scabies of the elbow. That's not
I
good.
Understand. No, there's a longevity there for sure.
And it's the material. Maybe after time we're all experimenting a little bit. This isn't, we're making 1/6 figures here. We're not making NASA spacecraft. Some people are doing great work in this field, but it's an experiment. And the one thing you can't really ameliorate for is time. Everybody who bought a Mercedes in the early 2000s did not expect its dashboard to go sticky 10 years later, but it did.
That's true. And they've come a long way, but it in terms of like the silicone stuff compared to like to the older like Fison's technique, but still it's a whole, I understand it's a different ball game, and whether or not you want to proceed with that in the future.
You'll see this picture is a good example. The hands are PVC, so the fingers are all flexible, and there was a potential to have, for example, a PVC arm, but then the problem is you can't get any wrist articulation, and he needs he can't hold the shotgun without the wrist articulation. See, Imhotep would have to be. Jeff Eubanks, I agree with you. I think so. I don't think he would look weird. I'm willing to accept, the look of Rick because it doesn't bother me, but it would absolutely on Imhotep. I don't think you can do it any other way.
No doubt. I'd agree. He'd have to be.
See, that's another one. We couldn't have his wrist has to have some articulation in it. You couldn't do that with a solid arm, or you'd have to supply him with like what? I don't know, 10 sets of arms. It would be a bit much at that point.
Yeah. No, I understand that completely. Bob Dylan for $5, dude. Thank you so much, Bob. Excited to see new IPs in 1/6. Any chance we could see an in-hand review of the Rick prototype before pre-order closes? Maybe by this channel.
Probably. We won't. Like I said, it'll open tomorrow morning on our website. Most wholesale and retail customers like Sideshow won't get it up until at least probably a week or 2 weeks later. So we're looking at 2 weeks. Full disclosure, the factories only just got back to work in China from Chinese New Year. They essentially, it takes out more or less the whole of February and some of the beginning of March. So they've literally just got their feet back under the table. I'm waiting for the first pre-production samples to arrive with me. Once I get one, then yeah, we'll look at seeing it. But when it will be, today I can't tell you. I've seen photos, but I don't have the one in hand. So I don't, unless I'm really, really wrong and I've massively misjudged the market for this, I don't think this will be a sellout in like a couple of days. It'd be lovely if it was, but we'll see.
Okay. And now that's another thing I guess I was wondering too. And thank you, Bob, by the way, for the super chat. I do have another one here in just a second, but that's the other thing I was kind of wondering is so that you're selling directly on your site. Sideshow is going to have some other retailers. They also have some, and you is there a pre-order cut off date or
not yet? No, not yet. We will announce that tomorrow. And it's not, we're not known for, like in and out in a week, that kind of thing. It's not going to be like that. It's not enough for people. People have lives. People are busy. You can't spend your whole time sitting like, oh, if I'm going to miss it. So I can't promise that everybody in the world won't miss it, but I think you'll be okay. We're not there yet. We try to make it as easy as possible. And hey, if there's, we're expecting this to be a fairly niche audience for this. We don't know, but if it turns out it's much bigger than we think, then we'll just extend it. Because why would we cut people off and say no, you can't have it? That's kind of sucks.
Well, and that's why I was wondering, because there's other companies all have different ways of doing their sales, and so I didn't know if this was going to be like, hey, this is going to be up till pre-order till April 20th or something, and then
no, unlikely at this point. No, because it's just a bit, I don't know. Like I said, we have to prove ourselves in this market, and I personally, I think it's a bit ballsy to kind of force people into it that early. Let's give them a bit of a run up and let's give them some chance. And yeah, as soon as we can get some in-person reviews, but at the moment, the target is to have them up for Comic-Con, at the booth at Comic-Con, and see them in July, and everybody can come look at them. And can't promise you'll be able to touch it, but because it will probably be in a cabinet, but we'll see what we can do.
Right, but they'll physically be able to come check them out and stuff. So
and everybody else will be able to come review it and do that. But we'd like, we've got some friends in the business like yourself who have been really good in supporting us and helping get our name out there. So we'll do you a solid. Don't worry.
Hey, no, that would be great. You know me, I would love to showcase, and whether it's photo, video, whatever, anything, of course. So that'd be awesome.
To these, it's not like we make a wide variety of products, but like the prop replicas are a very specific thing, and the audience has very specific requirements. And we realize that the 1/6 community has exactly the same specific, totally different, but they have the similar kind of thing. They want a very specific thing. So we're not trying to do a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach. And we're a fairly small company, and we do try to listen. So, if people see us doing something that they don't like or don't agree with, let us know. We can't always promise to act on it, but we will listen, and we'll certainly take your points on board.
No, and that's really good to know, like knowing like, hey, we will listen to the community, if there's, give us, what are the concerns or reasons, we'll listen to feedback, we'll bring it into the team, and, not just, okay, whatever, you know what I mean? You really take it under consideration, things like that. So that's awesome. Mitchell, though, for 2, dude, thank you so much, my man. Any news or updates on Airwolf?
Nothing yet, but I think you'll be pleased come Comic-Con.
All right, that's
very pleased.
that's what I want to hear, my man. You know me, all the 80s stuff, I loved that. So a couple questions and we'll move on, guys. But Movie Canon, dude, what's up, buddy? I believe you said
pre-order
November, right?
Tomorrow, Friday, and then delivery fourth quarter, which is hopefully November time. All things, hoping we haven't started World War III between now and then, of course, with that caveat.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be awesome. So I appreciate it. Movie Canon and Hot Toys Hotline as well. What's up, buddy? It says, I think most of us are asking for swap out seamless sculpted basic forearms that attach at the elbow with different gestures. It adds much to the realism. Quite a few companies have done this. Okay, I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, like if you have like the Wolverine or a couple other figures, that's exactly that. There's a latch, that'll So it's just the forearm, so it doesn't.
That's what I was talking about with the PVC limb, where you don't have any wrist articulation. You've got pre-posed, and we did look at that, but it does not have that. To be clear, it comes with the jointed wrists and the jointed elbows. There are no switchable arms on Rick, unfortunately.
Okay, but never say never in the future.
Never say never. And we did look at it. We didn't just write it off out of, we were very conscious of the fact that this is, it's not a cheap figure to make. The rig harness and everything alone looks deceptively simple when you start handing in all the hardware and the buckle, and it's real leather, by the way. No pleather.
Oh, so
there was no pleasure in it.
Wait, so everything here,
you see there is real leather. Yeah.
Oh, well, see, I didn't know that.
The rig and the belt. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Well, that alone's good. Now we can't. I don't know yet. Or do we have to wait until tomorrow? If so, it's okay. We'll find out tomorrow. But do we have to wait until tomorrow to know what the cost is going to be on this?
Yeah. Because I don't actually remember. I just get to do the pretty stuff. They don't let me get involved in important things like how much things cost. Okay. No, like I said, we're actually doing, and it's literally, we're a small company. It's being done as we speak. I've got like 5 missed calls. We're going to do an early bird discount for people who do pre-order from us, and that will be a limited window, very limited. That's going to go live tomorrow. So yeah, as soon as I get off this call, I'll actually find out what the final arrived price is at. But yeah, I actually don't know.
No, that's fair. We'll find out tomorrow.
You're gonna be like, what? I'm like, no.
Well, because I mean, I don't know if where we're going for this. Is it, if we're in a 200, 300, 500. I mean,
no.
That's what I know everybody's wondering, and I'm like, hey, I don't.
Tomorrow morning, guys, you'll find out. I wish I could tell you, but what I tell you will probably be wrong. So I'd rather say nothing than be wrong.
No, that's.
I mean, that one guy will go, oh, that guy said. Yeah.
Right. Star Crash, my man, AC Toy Man's wondering, will the final production head sculpts be improved over prototypes?
I hope not. Dean did a beautiful job on the head. I signed off on them. Obviously, you always have there's a process, and they're making, hundreds of heads. So there's a QC process you have to follow. But no, people don't like him. I hope
it might just be
an awesome look.
Maybe he's just referring to the photos.
Yes, I mean, these are images we've done to try and show off the best aspects of the figure. There's no substitute for looking at it, and once we can get some of these out there into the hands of people who can review them, that will be easier. But photographing these things is a real pain.
It is.
We really underestimated how challenging it is, because to set them up to light them for the costumes and for the clothing and the accessories is one thing, and then you need to completely light the heads differently. So in many cases, what we've done is we've shot the heads separately and then pasted the two things together to represent the best look of the figure that we think will give you what you're going to see when you have it in your cabinet or in your display shelf or whatever you're going to put it on. But yeah, no, these I mean, they look pretty. My eye, I guess. I mean, I'm supposedly the creative one, but I've signed off on them because I've held the thing in my hand and matched them up together, and they look pretty good to me.
Oh yeah, no, that's all that matters. I mean, yeah. That, and I think. Oh, speaking of what's up, Moose. So I think maybe that was the point here. So just wondering about the images, being maybe they're a little different, right? So that maybe that's why he was just wondering if a sculpt.
So there'll be high res. I think one of the other challenges I think we posted some images on Instagram, which is limited to a resolution that ain't brilliant. But you'll see them tomorrow on our site in high res. There will be many images to look at, and people can make some better determinations. So maybe if people see them and have feedback, please let me know. But maybe wait till tomorrow till you can see the good high res images, and tell us what you think.
And kind of go from there on that. Okay.
Please,
okay.
Yeah.
No.
People have got guidance. If they would rather see, we've looked at people like Sideshow, and every shot is beautifully shot against a background with light, and I'd call it theatrically posed, like it's from a movie still. But if people want, bog standard pictures on white backgrounds with figures just, stock still, if that's what people want, let us know, and we'll get them taken, and we'll share them.
Okay. Yeah, if people do or not, or both, or which
combination of both. Yeah.
Well, and it's because I think I kind of talked about this briefly with you before, but it's because some people in the community are thinking, oh, okay, this is looking kind of wonky, or maybe there was like some AI going on here, or like, do we know what's going on with any of that?
I mean, we're not. We like every creative tool. When Photoshop first came along, we've used AI to enhance the images, sure, but we're enhancing the lighting. We're not using AI to create anything that isn't there. We've just used it to bump up. There's nothing worse than setting up a shot and posing it and doing it, and then you look at the final picture and you're like, ah, crap, there's a shadow on the head. Rather than reshoot the picture, because
the whole composite's ruined.
In reality, the figure is already shipped back to China, because like I said, we've only got one of them right now. We can't reshoot it, so we'll just take it out. We use AI. So yeah, we've used that, but nothing's been generated with AI. No. Okay,
that's good to know, because I wasn't, people were saying, oh, especially like with the Jurassic Park stuff, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, Jurassic. Yeah, whenever you're ready, we can talk about that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can talk about it right now.
Yeah. Those if you two are just teaser images. We just put them out to tease what we're doing. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. They're teaser images. We were trying to replicate shots from the movie. We were just telling people we're doing them, and as you can see down in the corner there, the big one is subject to talent and licensor approval. And in the case of one of these, in fact both of them, the talent are really into this. They care. We're not just sending it to a secretary or an advisor. It's being looked at by the actual people, and they have to be happy first. So we can't share anything else with these yet, but both of these figures physical will be on our booth at Comic-Con, and people can come see them. Alan Grant's head is sculpted by Inigo Gill, who many people will know. It's a very talented sculptor. It's in my opinion, a brilliant likeness. And Ian was Sean Dabbs. Again, brilliant, talented sculptor. These are just teasers. That's all they are, just to announce they're coming, because we know there's a whole history behind these figures.
Yeah, there are, and that's where we weren't, too sure, right? Because between this and the Jeff Goldblum, I understand. Yeah, people were trying to, say, is it similar because these were like rendered, like proof of concepts, or because these aren't like. The figures aren't quite ready yet, right? You were saying
not approved by the talent. So the figure is the figure. It's been posed, and then we've used, artificial intelligence to put lighting on it and to make it lit right. And the rain's not there. We didn't actually spray them with rain. That's not happening. That's in the background. That's a still from the movie. That's why everybody recognizes it. And AI is a beautiful tool, because what you can do is remove everything that's in the still that you don't want. Right. Because there are people in the movie, and then we just use it as a background. But so maybe that's them, and they're just posed. Obviously, they're 1/6 figures. They can be in different poses.
Okay, no, that'll be really cool. Then I think I understand what you mean. Though,
them directly, and I've heard people counting the wrinkles. Well, if they look at the crotch and the knees, they'll see that the wrinkles aren't in the same place. But if we both copied the same character wearing the same costume, well, then they should be pretty similar, because we're both good at our jobs.
No doubt. No, I know, because a lot of people were saying it looks like very like almost the same as the Iron Studios, and
well, there's this whole yay big. But it's not Iron Studios' piece, and we know those guys well. We wouldn't do that to them. It's ours. Come see it at Comic-Con. Tell us what you like and tell us what you don't like. And at the moment, there's just 2 characters, these 2. But again, we'd love to go wide and deep on this one. There's a whole host of amazing characters in Jurassic Park.
Sure, which I get, and I think like once you see these on, and I did see Sean do some post some photos earlier, but I think like these should be at Comic-Con, is what you were saying.
They will be, 100% will be.
Okay, cool. Well, then that'll show everybody
and
like
what it's going to be. There's no gaslighting. The sculpt unlit and the sculpt lit are 2 different things. It's the same figure. There is only one at the moment. It only exists. That's the only one thing in the world. And Sean did a fantastic job on the sculpt. And the glasses will be removable. It does make a big difference. It's weird. He looks really different with and without the glasses. But they are key to the character. He wears them someone's going to call me out on this, but I think he wears them more than he doesn't wear them in the movie, in the original movie anyway.
Okay. I don't know,
I'm
but
trying to
that's
remember.
cool that they'll be so there. Are they? Is it too early to tell, or are they both going to have just individual, like their own skull, or they're going to have, or any for the future going to have like multiple head sculpts, or is it all
We're
just
looking at multiple heads, yeah. Again, it's a cost consideration. The head is one of the most expensive parts of the product, but if appropriate, we'll do multiple heads. We've been really clever, and we've got some really good designers working on Jaws, for example. On Quint, he has one head, but we've been able to pull off the baseball hat, just the hair, and the bandana using exactly the same head, but the top of the head is removable, and we've hidden the seam in the hairline. So you actually get 3 heads, but you've only got 1 lower head. And you can do some clever stuff like that. But things like Alan's hat, for example, you can't have it can't be like a real hat because it can't be flexed. It's not a Panama hat. It won't be made of woven fabric, so it can't be pulled down on his head. So we may have to have a similar thing with Alan, where the top of his head is removable for the hat.
Right.
We'll work on that as we get into the engineering. But the first stage of the process is the sculpt has to be signed off by the talent, and that takes as long as it takes. And then once the talent signs off on the sculpt, then we move to the engineering and the production and so forth.
Okay. No, that's cool. That means so. Wow. So when is that? July?
July.
Comic-Con?
Yeah, July. Faster than people think.
Yeah.
So they will be there in July. And yeah, just the 2 for the moment. But again, if people want to see other characters, please let us know. The hardest part is when you get such a wealth of characters. You know, who do you pick first? And you know, who do you go through? So yeah, please let us know who they'd like to see.
Okay. No, and then again, I think that's all going to be based on sales too, of course, right? If this is popular, we could be seeing more.
Yeah.
In the future. Okay.
Yeah.
Robert Online, I did see your message. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with everybody in the chat.
Oh, Vipers.
About the
on the
landing gear,
3 3/4 inch Vipers, the landing gear is removable and the little door hatches fold up. Purely reality. We couldn't make good pop-out landing gear. There physically isn't enough room. The rear ones aren't too bad, but the front ones are impossible. And we're nervous again about longevity. These will last forever. Everything I've seen with pop-out landing gear, eventually it starts to give, and you get Viper droop, which sounds awful. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. But yeah, they're removable pieces. The idea with the Viper is to emulate what you would have got from, say, Kenner back in the day, or Mattel back in the day, and they wouldn't have been able to do pop-out landing gear.
Okay.
Not in a 3 3/4 inch.
I see what you're saying. So this mentioned earlier, back to CT's question, is when you guys were trying to replicate. It's really trying to harken back to that time of those old school Kenner, like the 3 3/4. Like this is how we're.
I wanted a Viper to put with my X-wing and do a trench run. That would
be awesome.
I've messed up canon there horrifically, and the lawyers
that's okay.
The lawyers are writing me a letter as we speak. But I wanted to do that, and we never got it. You know, we had those cool little Vipers, but that line petered out, and we never got a Viper that you could put a figure in and you could fly it around and you could, let's be honest, play with it. That's what we're trying to give people for the 3 3/4 inch line. And we're kind of talking at cross purposes here, because we realize the large 1/6 scale figures are not retro styled. They're not kind of meant to be what you had back in the day. They are the pinnacle. The toy stuff is totally different. Totally different animal. But yeah, no pop-up landing gear, unfortunately.
No, that's cool though. I mean, you're trying to recapture that.
Yeah, and give people something that can work. Yeah, and that it's also weird because at the same time we're going to give it a display base, and it has a remote control, so people can put it in a cupboard and display it as a model. So it's kind of a hybrid. It's a little bit of modern collectible sensibility as well.
That's great.
Those 2 are cool, and it's the entire Jurassic franchise.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like all 19 movies or however many.
140 movies. I don't think there's anybody, again, subject to talent approval. You occasionally find there is one person who just doesn't want themselves replicated for some reason. And you know, someone's going to ask me in a minute about Jaws. But yeah, it's the entire franchise. But at the moment, focuses on Jurassic Park and the original. I was going to say the greatest, but that's kind of mean. But the original movie.
Well, it is.
Right?
But no, that's good to know that you have the
We're
whole
among
license.
friends. Yeah.
And Toybox for 20.
Only figures at the moment. No dinosaurs, unfortunately. But we're in discussion. But no, we can't do dinosaurs at the moment. Somebody else has the rights to do dinosaurs.
Oh. In 6 scale or just in general?
That's that we don't know.
Okay. Don't know.
So it involves discussion. So we're just happy to get the figures because they have, it's amazing, honestly, that Universal are happy for anybody to do figures, because I don't know how many times have we been promised Jurassic Park figures, at least twice that I know of, and neither of them have ever happened. So we're very thankful to the folks at Universal that they put their faith in us, and we won't let them down. So like I said, we've been around for 15 years doing this, so we're not gonna mess that up. But yeah, no dinosaurs at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Toybox. I appreciate it,
bro.
I
would love to do how cool would it be?
Yeah, that would be really freaking cool,
I want to do a
man.
massive T-Rex.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I saw Moose here though, celebrating 21 months. Dude, thank you so much. Channel membership. I guess we can talk about this too. He's like, Jaws fans deserve greatness. If they suck, we riot. Thank you, Moose.
Agreed.
Yeah, can we?
You won't get any disagreement from me. I can't turn my camera around to show you my Jaws collection, which is on the back wall. But yeah, there's Quinn, and we worked with the Shaw estate on this one. Wonderful people, lovely to work with, and then we worked directly with the talent on Hooper himself. But people will find out more about those when they launch at the end of the month.
Okay.
And yes, we know there are other characters.
That's funny, Bob. These creatures belong to the whole world. It was John Hammond's dream.
True. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. So
the lawyers ruin everything. Remember the guy got eaten on the toilet?
He did. He did. So you were saying you were working closely with the estate?
Yeah, with Shaw Estate, and then obviously Hooper is sadly our only surviving member of Jaws from the main 3. And yeah, we know there's a character missing. We know, and I think most people in this sphere know there are issues with him. Wait till Comic-Con.
Okay. Well, when we talked, right? Gosh, I don't remember when it was. It's been a while, but
last year, I think. Yeah. Well, maybe in Vegas at Star Trek, Las Vegas, maybe.
Well, after Vegas, I think we did our thing. But you'd mentioned, and I don't know if this is still the same thing, right? Kind of like a generic version, body, something.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe
Come Comic-Con, let's see.
Okay.
Yeah,
no.
We get it. We understand. The desire to display and collect these, and you can't. Yeah, it would be like having. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but you can't have 2 Stooges, right? Not that these guys are the Stooges.
Yeah.
We can't have the Stooges without Iggy. Put it that. All right, we'll go the other way.
All right, that would be funny. FPJ, what's up, buddy? Can we get a 6 scale?
Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, I want one. I don't know whether the boss is just going to go, are you insane? I dread to think what the tooling would be. But if it can be done and it doesn't require selling a kidney, yeah, why not? I mean,
that would be cool.
Actually, wouldn't it? I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Fig Poser also, we talked briefly, right, on considering seamless arms depending on, whether or not the character.
We'll certainly consider it, depending on cost and depending on practical ability and feasibility. Yeah. Rolling eyes, the magnetic eyes, they scare me. I'm kind of terrified of them.
that is something I was wondering as well, because I mean and they don't have to be magnetic, but have you considered that as well, like moving forward? Is it a cost thing? Is it a design decision? Or because dude, they're awesome.
Everybody happy with them? I don't actually
everybody's
own one
very
yet.
happy with them.
I haven't been lucky enough to save up to buy anything with moving eyes, but they kind of scare me when I look at them. Give me that whole.
Well, I should say I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think the majority of people, I know certainly myself. I mean, rolling eyes to me is like a standard now. It's like I love it, and I think a lot of people do. There are some who. Here's the way I look at it, and you guys in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. It's fine. Some people don't roll the eyes because of your point. They're like, I don't want to mess with it. Wigs me out. I don't want to mess it up or whatever. And then they'll just leave them as is, how it's shipped from the factory. They don't mess with them. They don't touch them. But then everybody else who does is like, all right, cool. We can do this. This is awesome. So yeah.
Point taken. I will definitely take it under consideration.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's like the best of both worlds in that sense. For the people who don't want to mess with it, it's not like they have to put the eyes in.
Yeah, and I guess it does give you that whole other realm of you back to your point about multiple heads. If you can move the eyes, you don't need you can have unlimited heads essentially. You can put them in any position you want in reason.
It's all, and for me, like, I just love it as when I'm posing figures or taking photos or whatever. I can change that expression sort. I mean, not so much, but just the eyes can change that emotion you're trying to.
I'll take it under
convey in the pose.
Absolutely. We'll see what we can do. Sure.
Okay. Just things to consider. I know I've seen a couple of questions that have been repeated, and I'm trying to find guys, but I just saw Robert Online wondering, are there plans for other Battlestar Galactica figures in the 3 3/4 market?
We just did a poll. We asked everybody for their input, and luckily we had already arrived at our wave 2 for the 3 3/4 inch, and we did a poll just to check, and we were dead right with everybody. So yeah, people will be pleased with that. They've just gone in for approval. As soon as they are approved and I can share them, we will let people know. But again, people are going to be sick of the Comic-Con, but come by Comic-Con, and I think they'll be pleased with what they physically see on the booth.
Comic-Con's going to be huge then, because we're going to get all sorts of.
Yeah, it's our one. It's like nerd prom, and it's our one chance to get out in front of the. That's what I call it. Because I'm a nerd. It's my one chance they let me out of the room. I don't get out in public much.
I think we all are.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's the day I get to go out and be among my people.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny. It's a nerd prom. That's good. That's good. I did put a poll in the chat though, guys. Let me know if you guys would like rolling eyes in most figures. I just kind of verbatim to yes or no. I'm just trying to get a general feel for the community.
I'd really be interested. It's an interesting thing, and like you said, it kind of came out of left field because I'm want to give myself away, and obviously people have worked out that I didn't originally come from the US, even though I've lived here for many years. Action Man with his eagle eyes when I was a wee boy back in the 1970s. Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. I loved that. It was like so awesome when that first came out. And if people aren't familiar, I think G.I. Joe did have a version of it. You had the little slider on the back of the head. You moved the eyes back and forth. I sat there for hours doing
just having fun.
Yeah,
of course.
You could hold the thing and have him look at you and follow your,
right.
You could really annoy your little brother.
Look, I'm telling you, we like the bells and whistles, the rolling eyes, the USB like light ups, if it's lightsabers or whatever bases that. And I'm not saying that it needs to be like a standard, but those are things that we like the bells and whistles. I think a lot of us do, right? That's
point taken.
It's fun. It's a fun thing.
I left 3 3/4 behind. Yeah, that's like the mafia. They pull you back in.
I know. And you know what? There's a lot of 3 3/4 fans though.
It's an underserved market. Like, it's the one that most of us grew up with. And everybody had Motu and they had other things. But it's that one that you clutched in your hot little hand when you got back from from elementary school. Or I was going to say high school, but I still had them in high school. And they're just awesome. And of course we have to have a Cylon Raider. Duh. I'm spending a lot of an inordinate amount of time at the moment trying to work out how to make the Cylon Raider fit 3 figures inside it.
So we talk about, look, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you guys are doing. Obviously, the props, the big ships. That's what I'd like. You want to send me a $20,000 ship to review?
Dude, I'd like one. I don't even own one. I'm not rich enough to afford one of those.
the hell out of it with all my gear. but the 3 3/4 line, this is going to be a big kind of deal too. I mean, especially, with BSG, with Classic, do you plan on also diving into that with the newer the newer BSG, or do you think that'll just stay?
If the market is there, yes. We're gonna do 78 Justice, the classic, the original, and then we will move into, people may have, bringing this back to 1/6, people may have noticed there was an Adama, which was Edward James Olmos, which is the new, when is it 15 years old? 2004? Yeah. The new Battlestar Galactica is now 15 years old, more than 15 years old.
Yeah, over 20 now.
We will do both. Yes, but we don't want to mix the waters too much, and we are conscious of people's pocketbooks. You know, we aren't all eccentric millionaires, sadly. I wish.
Yeah,
why can't I just win the lottery? It would be, I wouldn't ruin it. I wouldn't mess it up.
Well, I'll tell you, so Ronald Moore's Battlestar.
Yeah.
Let's just say the 2000s Battlestar. That's my bread. I know a lot of you guys grew up with 78, and it's so synonymous almost with Star Wars in itself, obviously, with what's going on with All I Am at the time, and it was the same. They're a year apart. There's a lot of similarities there, and in that time era. So I know that the classic means a lot to a lot of people as well, but the 2000s is mine.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm more excited. I mean, I'm excited for these two, no doubt, but I didn't know how deep, if there was a plan to go deep in either of these Battlestars in 1/6, or just trying out a couple of key characters and then seeing how it goes from there. Or, are there plans for a big line for these?
So yeah, like I said, the main ethos behind Factory is we're just fans who make things we hope other fans will like. We love both of the titles. I was a 10-year-old boy when the original BSG came out, and weirdly for me it was a weird one, because in England we didn't get it on TV like you guys did here. We got it as a movie. They edited, I think, either the first 2 or 3 episodes together and showed them in theaters. So I actually saw it as a movie, and then only in later life found out that it was a TV series, and then enjoyed it. The Ronald Moore series is brilliant. It was, we got all the grit and the darkness and the reality. Me discussing whether Battlestar Galactica is realistic, but it was, to me, real, and it was, I think, one of the few times where somebody rebooted something and it was as good and went in a different, better direction than the original. And that's kind of rare in our collecting field.
It's very rare
examples, but most of the time they either screw it up horribly, or they go in such a weird tangent that the two things might as well not be. Why are they even called a sequel to each other? They don't have any.
He made a lot of changes, but overall,
but he changed them with sympathy and with it was respectful, and it was source of canon, and you don't have to be stuck in the past. You can change, but you don't have to burn the past down when you change, and he did that very
No, this isn't
well.
Star Wars.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
Yeah. Good point.
I know, right? So I know. I'm sorry. I'm making a little jab, but because I absolutely love that
we
show.
don't include you in this, Gareth.
No. This is yeah. Your views and opinions do not reflect on mine. Yeah. So no, I just it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Now, I love these as well. I love these as well. I love the 70s, and so it's cool to see these. And I know you just put out a couple of photos here of Apollo and Starbuck.
Just teasers. They'll see more. These are both, again, Sean did both of the heads for these, both Starbuck and Apollo. And again, Blue Aquino did the costumes. Caitlin did the accessories. And Viola Whitrocker did the paint masters for these. And these were fun. We'll talk about these nearer the time, but man alive, reducing those costumes down to 1/6, the velour and the texture.
Yeah, to really kind of.
Oh my God, it nearly killed us. It's a nightmare.
No,
it was not easy, put it that way.
No, a lot of people don't understand that, man. That like taking outfits, for whatever they've done in movies, television, right? Just the wardrobe design in life size is one thing, and they do amazing, elaborate designs, creative, original stuff that you've never seen before, and then you try to like replicate that as best as you can in 6 scale, and it is difficult. Like you may not have like the proper, button or belt buckle or you name it, right? Because it doesn't really exist.
Fabric is the hardest thing, because when you shrink the fabric down, like denim is, oh god, because denim, when you look at your jeans, you can't see the stitches, but when you then make that denim small, you can't reduce. There is a physical size at which needles can't go beneath, so it's a real challenge. But I think we nailed it. Wait till people see them in person, and there are more accessories. There's just a teaser image, just one image, just to whet people's appetite,
just to be like, hey, look, we've got
a little bit of
coming.
Foreplay. Wait for the wait for the main event.
Yeah, I can't wait, because I mean that's awesome. I mean, you Dirk Benedict, you got Richard Hatch. I mean, this is, rest in peace. Or Tom Zarek, right, from the reboot.
Yeah. Well, again, if there is demand, and you've seen we're going deep with 3 3/4 inch, if there's demand, we'll carry it on. And the 2, I see the 2. There's some crossover, obviously. Here we are on 1/6 Warriors, and a lot of the questions have been about the 3 3/4 inch. The 2 exist in separate worlds, and some people will collect both. Some people will only collect one and not the other. But we don't see why we can't be in both camps, and potentially others too. There are other scales, and there are other things we can do. If the demand is there and people want it. And so far, we got to say thank you to everybody who stepped up on the BSG 3 3/4 inch. The demand has been really impressive, just as we hoped it would be. Because that was another one that was kind of forgotten. People just let it kind of go. Like, just, we hadn't had any BSG products since, I don't know when.
Long time.
Long time. Like Majestic,
I mean, like
maybe?
I have a Cylon. I have an old Centurion and a new Cylon, both from Ronald Moore's show, but they are.
I want to say that was Majestic Studios, and they were done right. They did some classic BSG, and then I want to say
that was like 20 years ago, and that wasn't even 6 scale. I mean, they were just.
And then between now and then, maybe someone's going to say, "You've forgotten this guy," and apologies if I have. But I don't think there was anything else. It was just vanished. It just went into the wasteland, and it didn't even. I mean, I can't even think. Was it streaming anywhere? But the fans did not die.
No, it wasn't for a while, and then they put it on Peacock when they launched their platform for a little bit, and then it fizzled. And I think, it's similar with other shows like Lost or other shows of that era. Like, you had companies making stuff. I think like McFarlane made figures for Lost, and then just a couple things, and then once the shows were over, it just seemed like everything kind of just dried up. And I don't, that sucks. Speaking of older shows, though, I would agree, but I don't know if there's a demand other than myself and others. But a demand enough? Is this a consideration at all?
Yeah,
I would love that.
One of those is
the former or the latter.
You'll have to find out.
Or somewhere in between.
The challenge with all of these is licensing. It's a business, and you have to follow the rules, and you have to play by the rules, and you can't mess it up. Once you start to mess with one licensor, your word gets out, and it's a whole process that you have to follow. And sometimes it can be really, really difficult, because when it is a property that's maybe been, I don't want to say forgotten, but maybe if you're a big studio and you've just had a multi-bazillion dollar movie and a multi-bazillion dollar TV show, you kind of forget the things that happened 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And unless there's an anniversary, so a lot of the time it's kind of like a little bit of licensing archaeology. You have to go probing to find out who owns these things. And if indeed anybody owns them, because sometimes you discover that it's 3 people who once had a falling out and don't speak to each other ever again, and that means it's never going to be licensable. So you do have to do some probing. So we did a survey for 3 3/4 inch figures, and we had, I think, 20 odd brands on there, and one of these was on there. we're investigating, and you also have to be a little bit secret squirrel, because if your competitors find out what you're going for, they'll
sure. If I had to take an educated guess would be Farscape, but that's just only because of look, you gotta hold your cards, man. Don't
I know.
You know,
yeah, I'm a terrible poker player.
I only say that because of like Henson and stuff, and that you've got Claudia, and Ben, and there's still, I mean, unfortunately, most people from Babylon 5 have passed away.
Yeah, they have.
And I know that can also be tricky trying to go through studios and estates, and
well, you have to find out, and this is once you start digging. The worst sort of scenario for us is you find that you can get a license, and you agree with whoever, and they grant you the license, and then you find out they have absolutely no rights whatsoever.
Right.
So all you're basically entitled to use is a logo and a couple of pictures, and that's it. And then you're like, oh, what do I do now? So it's a bit of a
no, I totally. But I'm looking
can't
forward
share
to
anything yet, sadly.
Nothing for Miami Vice yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Because me, I'm that guy.
Well, I have successfully destroyed all of the photos of me from the mid-'80s, but if anybody found any of them, I'm that guy. I don't think I owned anything that wasn't pastel.
No. Well, I mean, dude, it was so awesome. I mean, listen, because I've been wanting for years. I was kind of lamenting and looking over at these like customs of Crockett and Tubbs, and I was like, I don't want to spend this kind of money. And it just became this thing where I was like, I'm just chasing it, but not really. But for years and years and years, I was like, I want Crockett and Tubbs.
Another one that kind of, if people remember it from the first time, time stood still when Miami Vice came on. It was a thing. It was
Friday nights.
Everybody talked about it. They had the guest stars. I mean, like the music. It was an absolute pop culture kind of event, and it was next day in high school, it was the thing, and then it just kind of died. And we had that reboot, which it's another weird one. It's kind of, but everybody remembers it. Everybody has their favorite episode. Everyone can remember the bit when the Phil Collins music came in, or the guest star du jour. I mean, man, when you sit back and you start looking for all the guest stars, you're like, they got some real A-list people in that show.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. I mean, there was so many, but like Liam Neeson and Bruce Willis, and there's more than that. But obviously, Phil Collins played a couple roles himself in it, and like, in addition to the music, of course. But I mean, it's just, I love Miami Vice. I love Miami Vice.
I'm hopeful there is an equal number of like-minded lunatics like you and I out there. And every time I do a show or I talk to somebody, the subject comes up. So I'm hopeful, and I hope people will appreciate what we've done.
If we can do that and still maybe collab with Yoast, we need a car.
We shall see.
We need a car.
We shall see.
We need a car. I don't care if it's the Spider. We need it. We need.
The car was. This was one of the considerations for, and it's why we're working with Yoast and the guys at Jazz Inc. The car's the character, right? In some of these things. Definitely Kit, obviously, but
for sure,
the A-Team van is the member of the team. In fact, for most of us, I remember, the figures kind of got thrown to one side. It was the van that you played with.
The van was fun.
And that's why 3 3/4 is fun, because you can make vehicles with it in a reasonable real estate. But then to have a partner like Jazz Inc., where you can make these. I mean, they're miniature cars. They are the real thing, shrunk down. But it's not so small. When you go down to this size, you have to make sacrifices. Definitely salmon, yeah. Good. I'm reading the comment.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
And no sleeves went below here, right?
No,
had to be rolled up.
Yeah, Edward James Olmos. Adama was. He was Castile, man. He was a
great
hard
story.
ass.
We did Vegas last year. They had Eddie there, and he did a reading of War of the Worlds, which I don't know if you caught it, but it was
no, I did not.
They did a live read of the original Orson Welles, but they modernized it and made it humorous. And Eddie was involved, and we had the pleasure of talking to him afterwards. And Miami Vice came up, and he said, "Oh yeah, I do. It's a huge thing, and I go to Miami, and I do it. There's a convention." I was like, "Wait, what? How did I not know this?"
Right. There's a Miami Vice convention in Miami.
Looking for tickets to Miami, like.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Oh, yeah, wow. Robert, I was wondering, any plans for Buck Rogers?
Looking into it. It's another one we're looking into.
Looking into. Okay. Speaking of these shows, is there any looking in consideration or possibility to do like 18 characters?
Yeah, and it's another one that we're looking into. It's more complicated than first thing. We can't do everything at once. Like I think, I don't want to be like a broken record, but we are a small team. There's like me and a couple of others, and all the talent we use outside. I've got to make a point of that they are part of our team, even though they're not here in the office with me. Every single one of them, I feel like they're colleagues, but we can only do so much. So
well, yeah, there's only so many months in a year, and of course
I want to make everything.
Right. But I can
hear the owner of the company's just horror at how much money I've just mentally spent, because you're looking at serious money to develop this stuff. It's not
like I'm in a weird headspace too, where I'm looking at like, you did it, not me. You came out, bro. You came out with Miami Vice, with Airwolf. I was like, what the fuck? What? Whoa. Like last year, right? I saw the signs in the display case, and I'm like, okay, so we're going there. We're going, Knight Rider, Airwolf, Miami Vice. Well, shit, let's get some Magnum PI. Let's get some A-Team. Let's get and then you go Battlestar. So then I'm like, oh, dude, SG-1, Atlantis, Farscape, Babylon 5, Firefly. Like I'm going nuts in my head, right?
The ramp is there. Like, I see it like we're a covers band, and the amount of covers we can do, it's just going to be the most awesome set list.
It'd be awesome, but those are like things I would just eat up personally.
And again, a lot of them have been kind of just left by the way, or they just get other things get in the way. Maybe don't know about that one. X-Files. Don't know. Actually, haven't looked into that one. Maybe, not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I missed those two. 3-0 did I think at the time 3-0 did a better Mulder and Scully, and previously Sideshow did them as well. So there's been two iterations that I know of in 6 scale form, and those are both back then.
Yeah,
they're way in the rear view, so I don't even know if there's a thing.
We're getting a reboot of X-Files, right? I saw that in
so Ryan Coogler's doing like an X-Files. Hopefully it's a continuation world where they can make their appearances,
I don't know if this is applicable in this case. I'm just shooting the shit here. Sometimes when that happens, the owner of the property deliberately suppresses the original so that typically what you find is that you can't do anything licensing wise while there's a reboot. Sometimes we'd have to look because they don't want it to confuse, and they don't want. And personally, I think it's not the right idea, because the heritage should be celebrated while you're rebooting. But I can see why they do it, and I can see why, if they're plowing tens of millions or hundreds of millions into a reboot, they don't want people looking backwards at the same time. So you sometimes find that, but I don't know with that one. That's not one we've considered. And there is people can see a pattern. We have relationships with most of the licensors, but unfortunately, anything that belongs to Mickey is hard. And I believe that the X-Files was a Fox program, so that one might take a bit more work than others. The mouse can be a punishing mistress.
Shit, you're right. It is Fox. Yeah,
they can be hard. They can be very hard.
They can be. But hey, look, you've got Battlestar Galactica coming. You've got The Mummy. You've got Jaws. You've got Jurassic Park. Those are just the things that you've just, some more than others, have just barely shown, right? But these are things that are coming, and those lines may expand.
Hopefully they will. Like I said, if there's demand, if it's a one and done thing, and there are a couple of brands where it's just the one character people want, or the two, and that's it, and it's done, and it doesn't make any sense to go on to, third stormtrooper from the left, for want of a better analogy. And then there are those you can go deep and wide forever, essentially, until people get so sick of it that they don't want to do it anymore.
Right. No doubt. Yeah, this is what Inart said AMC did with Daryl Dixon. They were pressing for his spin-off look because he has a new show, and it's like, well, what we want the Walking Dead version.
Well, sometimes it's contractually obligated. They may have signed a deal with that. Again, I don't know in this instance, but if an actor says I'm doing version A and version B doesn't exist, then you have to go with the talent. So there are all kinds of boring behind the scenes things that drive you crazy. And these, as a fan, I've been doing this for too long, 28 years next year. You see some stuff over the years as a fan makes you go. But people, have to remember this is a business, and it is important. It's how I pay my mortgage. It's how I raised a family. So we do have to play by the rules. And the guys that are out there doing their own thing, call them bootleggers, call them whatever, they don't have to play by those rules. It's way easier. I'm jealous of them a lot of the time because they can do whatever the hell they want.
No, which I totally. Well, of course, right? That's that's the no boundary.
But it's not the right way. If you love a brand, you got to do it right, and you got to pay because the money goes to the people who make the stuff you love, and you hope that eventually, and call me naive, but if you support the brand, eventually you'll get something back in return, and they'll make new shows and they'll continue to support it. But if a thing devolves into cannibalism, I mean, how many great brands have just died and they're gone and they'll never come back because they've just been, cawed out and eviscerated. And it's a shame. And you see it happen and you watch it and you're like, oh boy, this is heading for the cliff. You just don't drop off the cliff.
No, I'm with you. I agree. I mean, that's kind of what keeps a lot of, in some ways, it keeps some lights on for some companies, because of that. They're like, hey, look, man, we're buying the merchandise. I mean, look, Star Wars. I don't think Lucas at any point was probably like, I'm done making. I mean, he took a break, but you know what I mean? Like, how much money did he make off the merchandise? I mean, like, way more than he ever did off the movies. So yeah, it's kind of an extreme example, but it, point still stands. If people are buying the products,
well, you don't want to be in a position where the tail wags the dog, and where you can see those movies that were made for the toy. This was the scene where we went, and it's kind of like every time we see that, mentioning no names, but you're like, oh god, really? Like, they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No, that's why we made it, to sell a toy. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the only reason this person's in this scene. Sorry. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I guess it's pretty cool looking. I guess I'll get it.
And we all invariably do, don't we? Like,
Yeah, we fall into those. We fall into those traps. Definitely do.
Your Honor. Yeah.
I feel you, man. A couple little quick questions though. What's up, Toybox, my man, dude? Joined in late, but are you guys going to collab with Jazz Inc. to make a Jeep or Explorer?
Collab on. With Jazz Inc. at the moment is limited to Knight Rider. We want to see how that goes, and then the sky's the limit. But right now, all we're working on is Knight Rider. But you'll see that the Jazz Inc. have asked for some input on brands. We've asked for some input on brands. Who knows what the future will bring? But you can kind of see the logic through a point here.
No, that would be awesome. That would be very, very cool to do. I mean, that's a big thing. That is a big deal for a lot of people, especially in those situations where like the figures do kind of warrant that. That obviously Kit is a big one because it's synonymous with Michael. But I mean, there's cars that really go well. I mean, Jurassic Park is another cool one.
The question on JP Jurassic Park is Jeep or Explorer, or both, because they're both, both iconic. One is in much more, that's a whole decision right there.
That I think is left up to the gods in that situation. I think it comes down to a coin toss, and then whatever it lands on, that's what's made. Because
one of them's a hell of a lot easier to put a 1/6 figure in and pose it.
Also true. I mean, if you're looking from a production standpoint, you can factor that in too. But as far as like the popularity, right? That's going to be tough because I think both are equally. Hard. You're not going to please everybody on that one. You're just not, unless you make both, and that's not very realistic, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a
I
tricky
mean, maybe down the road, year, few years, you know, something like, hey, that sold really well. Okay, we'll consider doing this now, or something. So, Philly, what's up, my man? Sorry I missed this. We'll catch the replay. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you coming through. So, and obviously, I prefer the Explorer. Those colors would absolutely pop in the display. So, Clinton Martin, though, good question, actually. Does Jazz Inc. have anything to do with the figure? Are you guys completely separate with this on this? They're just working on the car.
We're developing the figure. They are developing, we're jointly developing kit together, but their expertise is in vehicles. They're moving into figures too, but we had already started. That's how we kind of got together. It's like one of those 90s date movies. Well, you're making the figure and I'm making the car. We should get together. It wasn't quite like that, but in my head, that's how I play it.
You know what it was? It was me sitting back being like, you know, these two attractive people, they need to meet. They need. Well,
that kind of, there were multiple people. It was really nice to be kind of, you know, we looked somewhat hungrily at their product, and our owner and CEO actually owns a couple of their pieces. And they, you know, I remember when I first saw their Batmobile, the 66 Batmobile, and I was like, professional pride. Damn, how did they do this? You know, because I know how you make these things, and I was looking at it going, damn, that's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and more blood than sweat. And it's impressive. So yeah, no, that's how we're working on it. And again, it's a collaborative process. It takes, it's going to sound really corny, but it does take a village to make these things. We do.
Oh yeah, really absolutely.
We're really lucky to work with this outside talent, with this career, and the world has shrunk. You know, we've got sculptors in England, we've got sculptors in Israel, we've got sculptors and painters in Asia and Korea, and we can all work together on a Zoom call, and like, wow, you know, we're not quite in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek yet, but it's moments like that when you realize,
bro, we kind of are. Okay, I was
right. Like,
look, I look, a totally segue, but I had ordered something to eat last night, and the guy could not find my house, and so we connected on the phone, but he didn't speak English. He just spoke Spanish, and he's trying to tell me like, hey, you know, I don't speak English.
Yeah,
and I'm like, whoa. I'm over here or whatever, and then my phone like kicks in. It's like, hey, message, you know, or person's, you know, not speaking English or whatever, you want to auto translate this. I was like, what the hell? And I said, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was speaking back to me in a generic voice, like an AI voice, but in English, what he was saying to me. And then I would speak and I could hear it sending it to him. And I was like, yo, we're universal translating like right now over the phone, and we found each other.
We definitely have a lot of problems to solve in this world, but we have come on leaps and bounds. Like it's quite amazing when you think about it. But yeah, so it's a collaborative process. But yeah, we're working on the figure, and more soon on that. We, you know, as soon as it's cleared to release, and as soon as it's past the likeness and the great and powerful David, which is, you know, the 10-year-old me is like really kicking himself that I'm getting to build Knight Rider and getting to make Michael Knight. It's like, hey, I want to build a time machine and go back and go, ha ha.
Look at that, right? And then you can do what the hell's his name from fucking Baywatch?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
good. I mean,
and they're rebooting Baywatch, right? Everybody's seen that? That's coming back.
Oh no, are they really?
Yeah, it's coming back in spades. That's going to be something. I think the world needs that right now. Like if you remember the early '90s when we got Baywatch, it was a bit grim, and we need Baywatch back.
We need Baywatch back. I need to see them running on the beach.
Well, there's that. Yeah,
there's that. No, it was fun. I loved that show. It was great. Philly was saying though, it's all our love and joy with the level of involvement you guys bring. I'm excited. I told Yost when I saw your sign at SDCC 2 years ago. I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, dude.
Thank you for everybody who helped us hook up. It was, you know, whoever you are out there, you know who you are. It's going to be hopefully a long and happy marriage.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, and like you guys said, it's the world that has shrunk in that sense. You guys can all work together from all over the world, like just in tandem, like on the fly with each other. And
I was telling somebody a couple of months ago about how you used to write off for things, and it would say on the bottom, allow 28 days for delivery, and you thought that was fine. And you tell a 20-year-old that, and they look at you like you're high. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was normal, right?" And if it ever turned up in 28 days, that was nothing short of a miracle. It was more like 36 days or 40 days. And they just looked at me like I was like from the Roman times. Like they were like, "What?"
Oh, I mean, just talking with people nowadays. Yeah, I mean, I'll have just random conversations with people, and I'll bring stuff up like it's our everyday. This is what our life is, and people all the time are like, "What? You did that?
Yeah.
This happened, or you went there?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And there's no footage.
Lucky, and it's the fans that allow us to do this. We get to be, professional man babies for a living.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so fun. It's so fun. So I don't know if there's much else we want to discuss or final thoughts on.
I need to go do some work. I gotta go make some of this reality. So I gotta hit the keyboard. But thank you. It's always a pleasure. And thank you to all the comments. And if I didn't answer any or I missed any, everybody knows who I am. You can reach out and find me. Just be nice, because I'm a real person. And I cry.
He is. He's not. He is real.
I am real. I am. Most of me is real.
I know, right? Most of us. What is that? Is that a Headbangers Ball shirt? What is that shirt?
Yeah, it is. Oh shit! And it's an original too, direct from Ricky Rackman.
So speaking of back in the day, shit that doesn't exist anymore. That was a real thing you're wearing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was a real thing. Yeah. Wow. Man, it looks.
Sorry, I'm
just. I have a cat house one too. That's how OG I am.
That's so cool. I'm sorry. I'm nosying right now. I'm looking in the.
Oh yeah, I got to make sure I hid everything.
Did you have? Because you're like, oh shit, is this out? Is this out? I love that bat.
Do that all the time. I'm working on all of that right now. All of it.
I'm just trying to get everything. Sometimes I do that too, because when I'll do like photos and stuff, and I forget. Sometimes I'm like, when I'm about to go live, I'm like, wait, do I have anything sitting out? I'm like, okay, hold on, let me just move stuff. Oh, what do you got over there? I'm gonna full screen you really quick.
Just about to send it off, but we might as well go out with a bang.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's take a look. Whatever we've got here. Oh shit!
I didn't set it up properly. I took the batteries out, so I can't operate the visor. But it does work, and it does.
That's so cool.
It does fit on your head. But
that's
I am no Stringfellow Hawk.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Oh, real quick though, Philly, dude, thank you so much for 5. Not sure if anybody asked, is Factory planning on 1/6 kill dinosaurs? No, we cannot.
Not at the moment. No, sadly.
Yeah. So there's somebody else has a license on
maybe we're looking in again. It's baby steps. Can't be greedy. You don't want to eat all the cake. You just take a slice and show that you can behave and sit at the table and deliver the goods, because Jurassic Park 1/6 figures have a pretty terrible back history. A lot of people got a lot of embarrassment and upset and disappointment.
Well, I think that's where you were like, oh my god, we can do this.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
At least look, I mean, for me as just who I am as an outsider, I was surprised too, because of what had happened back in the day, and I'm like, holy shit, they can do this. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, so
which is why we wanted to get it out. So if anybody was upset by the imagery and they don't like it, just give us a chance and let us show you what we're going to do, and then tell us how wrong we are and how garbage we are. But give us a chance. They were just teaser images, because genuinely we were so excited, like, we can do this. We have to tell people, and it's also kind of territorial pissing. we put our mark down now.
Oh, that's good. That's also a good Nirvana song.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap here in a second, guys. But I do want to say, just because a Philly just joined in, I know a couple of you guys are coming in. Just a quick cliff note regarding Jurassic Park. You have the Jurassic license, so
franchise.
The franchise. So any movies are kind of fair game, but we'll see how it goes. Kind of scenario. Okay.
We got to deliver for you guys first on the first 2, and then we'll obviously we have to plan a lot more. I'm working on 2027 and 2028 right now, so I have to do some forward movement. But yeah, let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like, and I'll always look. And I can't promise to act on all of it, but I will listen and try when I can.
Okay. No, that was great. And then otherwise they can join the Facebook,
hit us up on socials. or our newsletter on our website is always a good way, because that's how we put most of the stuff out. But yeah, and if we need to be members of your groups, or hit us up and tell us, because
well, I think you're in my Six Skill Mafia Facebook group. So you know, if anybody, you know, if you have time or you see some people leaving comments or questions, you know, you can feel free to, you know.
Yeah, and I lurk in a lot of forums and places under my nom de guerre.
Hell yeah. Valkyrie, though, real quick for 5, dude, thank you so much, my man. Thanks for the live stream. I needed this, dude. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. And I appreciate you, Barry, for coming on and talking, and
always a pleasure,
you know, showing us updates, clearing the air on some of the stuff. And we're gonna talk again soon. I mean,
definitely. Let's not leave it 7 months. I'll if I don't hit you up, you hit me up, and we'll make it work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And tomorrow, right on the website,
tomorrow, 7 a.m. PST,
7 a.m.
Dear old Rick O'Connell will go up for pre-order, and let's everybody surprise me and show me some love.
Sounds good, guys. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe if you're new, if you appreciate it. More content, and we will talk to you guys very soon.